We had a new exotic mission today, and the reward is worth it. This thing is so good. There's going to be plenty of guides on the mission itself, and for the most part, it's trial and error. I know some people are having some issues with it, but you'll get through it. And the reward is Choir of One, a special ammo void auto rifle, and this falls right in line with the artifact upgrades. Whole bunch of things. Overload auto, sustain fire, continuously damage combatants with an auto rifle, grants you damage resist. Targeting autoloader while you have an auto rifle equipped, defeating combatants reloads your equipped weapon and temporarily increases the weapon's damage. Very good weapon here. It's fully craftable, and later on down the line, this thing will perform at its highest level. But just the base weapon, we have arrowhead steady rounds, composite stock, the exotic perk and trait, fanatical lance. Rapid final blows cause targets to explode into a pool of radiolarian fluid. Hip firing launches multiple projectiles at once in a slower moving spread pattern. The projectiles detonate on impact. There's 5 projectiles. The intrinsic is command fire. Fires extended range heavy caliber projectiles at a reduced rate of fire. It deals increased precision damage when aiming down sights, so there's a lot to learn here. You think of it kind of like a scout rifle. It's 225 RPM, rapid fire scouts are 260, lightweights are 200. It's right in the middle. The damage of these modes is wild, and as I go through this, I think of it like a rocket sidearm. I do. The utility of a rocket sidearm. The ADS shoots one at a time. That's the 225. And the hipfire shoots a much faster but slow-moving volley. But a note about this volley, it has no damage fall off. As it travels, the spread gets wider, of course, but if there's a big target in front of you, it will hit a long ways away. Every third kill in ADS, on ads, you get the radiolarian pool. And just flat out, the hipfire mode, detonating after hits, is doing more surrounding damage. It's good. The hipfire melts. And as I was making this, Mossy Max put out some numbers. The hipfire mode is about 90% the damage of a Fourth Horseman single magazine, but it has like 3 times the reserves of Fourth Horseman. So that's exactly how you think of this. The volley's like Fourth Horseman. When you get it onto champions, mini bosses, and this is a Master 2030, it chunks them. And I can only imagine if you have multiple Choir of Ones on a single target, it'll melt them down. And you can use this by itself, hit 5 volleys, reload, hit 5 volleys. Just keep reloading in and hip firing. That's gonna work. But you can also do a nice damage rotation because of how well its damage really is. Fire a primary shot, then all 5 volleys. They go to like a bait and switch Apex Predator. It's legit. So the hip fire mode, that's what it is. A very powerful shotgun. Void shotgun. We're gonna talk about that more in a second. But with the ADS mode, it makes it an extremely efficient weapon. Like I said, kind of like a rocket sidearm. The hipfire mode is for big targets. It's for big damage up close and even mid-range. Or if there's a whole bunch of ads and single targets, you can just kind of fan them out and it will clear them because of the detonations. But back to the ADS mode, this is the ad clear mode. Basically, it is good damage. And Mossy Max said it's kind of like over the life of the magazine, kind of like sniper DPS. And it almost is, or at least it feels like it. But a lot of ads, it just one-shots. And then as you go through them, you get the fluid. There's the explosions. Very ammo efficient. This thing's got over 300 in reserves. So if you just use it for ad clear, just regular damage and find bricks, it's going to do great. Where it loses ammo, a lot of ammo, is through hip fire. But that's specifically for mini bosses and chunkier enemies. And not to mention, it's void. So prismatic, grenade final blows grant volatile rounds of void weapons, melee final blows grant strand weapons unravel, and void, of course, the void sub has that volatile interaction with your grenade. But these detonations from hipfire or just ADS with the fluid, adding in volatile is crazy good. Highly recommend. But at base, again, great weapon. Highly encourage you to go get it. A priority. It's definitely going to see some play. There's a ton of void things you can add to it, a ton of exotics you can add to it and build around it. And in the upcoming weeks, we're going to unlock more. It's going to get better. And some things I want to point out about the craft and the perks it can get. With it being craftable, you can get the handling up, the reload up with its stock, mag, and masterwork. With the 3 perk options, we have subsistence, destabilizing rounds, and onslaught. All of them are actually great for it. There's going to be preference, but I think that there's a clear winner. Usually, I would be against destabilizing rounds, but since it has detonations, and that hipfire mode, it's a tad bit more appealing, but then again, you can get volatile through your grenade a lot of the time. You can get that through your subclass kits. Subsistence, especially in ADS mode for ad clearing, because you're never going to have to reload it. Seriously. Early impression, very impressive. It hits hard enough that it's just going to chew through things. It's going to get ammo right back. Big waves with hipfire too. Shoot out a whole bunch of volleys, you get ammo back with all those kills. And then we have onslaught. Very interesting for a lot of reasons. Number 1, when you get to Onslaught 3, which you see how fast it shoots and how well it clears, 3 ads, you're at Onslaught 3. Boom. It gets the RPM to 308, which is basically an adaptive sidearm, 300 RPM. So this is going to be the rate of fire while aiming down sights. It will shred. It ups the DPS massively, and I'll talk about this as we go through it. The hipfire mode 2, I am sure it makes it even faster. It will straight up be Fourth Horseman enhanced with Onslaught. Because really think about it, whether you use the ADS mode or the hipfire mode. There's a world where you're running through an area in an activity or in some of this Lost Sector gameplay, you're mowing through things with Onslaught on ads. You still have the Onslaught timer on your screen. Onslaught lasts for 4.5 seconds. Enhanced is 5. But there's a world where you're running through stuff, mowing through things. You see a champion, you have Onslaught 3. You go to hipfire mode and absolutely lay into them with Onslaught 3 hipfire. Like I said, 4th Horseman enhanced. And to me, that makes the rest of the role a lot easier. But though I do like destabilizing rounds, you can get that when it comes up. Assistance is cool, it's gonna work. But there's a real shot that the god roll for this thing involves a reload masterwork and flared magwell. Or even better, alloy magazine. Faster reloads when the magazine is empty. You get that 0.85 reload multiplier. So you would have Onslaught 3 for 4.5 seconds. You would dump the mag quickly. Then you have a reload scaler with alloy mag. I think that might be the play. And on top of that, remember, it doesn't state it, Onslaught secretly gives reload speed. After 1 kill, you get 15 reload. 2 kills, 25 reload, and at Onslaught 3, it's 35 reload. So that's upping its base reload stat with all the stuff you've done to craft it, and then you have the alloy mag multiplier. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my hands on it. As far as the Crucible, yikes. We have a yikes situation. And it's twofold. The ADS mode deals 70s to the head, so it's a 4-bullet kill. That means it's a 0.8 TTK. Your starting ammo is low. You're getting 5 at a time, whatever it is. It's not going to cut it in the ammo economy that we have with the brick system. Interestingly enough, as we thought, the hipfire mode does one-shot, and you use it like a shotgun, but at that point, you should probably be using a shotgun. A lot of things changed going from PvE to the Crucible. They were very mindful of what needed to happen. There is damage fall-off on that hipfire shot in PvP. Can't just shoot it across the map, and at a distance, yeah, you can blint them, I guess, kind of weaken them, so some applications in that, but it's really slow moving for the Crucible. Up close with the one-shots, and then you have the AoE explosion, but again, it's very slow moving from the barrel. Even when you lead it a little bit, it still misses. You have to lead it quite a bit, even at a close distance. And the crate system, definitely now, but even without it, be weary of what this thing is doing and what you can do with it. It's a glorified shotgun, and the ADS mode is an average TTK, a little bit slower TTK than most weapons. It matches a 140 hand cannon, and also keeping in mind the ammo that you're using for that takes away from the one hits from the hip. So just use a 140 hand cannon and a compass rose, whatever. It's a PvE weapon through and through, and a monster one at that. There's going to be so much to explore with build crafting with it, and of course I didn't talk about it, but there's expanding abyss and things on the artifact. Right now, just at base, the work that it's putting in, it's crazy to think that it goes a step above from where it is right now. Definitely 110% go get it. If you're new here, remember to hit the subscribe button, and if you are subscribed, thank you so much for your support. This was an early look, a little breakdown of it, and through the upcoming weeks, I'm going to work on builds with it, and when the perks get on the weapon, I plan to re-review it and confirm what I think should happen with it. I think it's going to involve alloy mag, I think it's going to involve onslaught, and I think there's going to be a lot of cool things you can do with it. Let's talk about it down below. Thank you for watching, and until the next one, I am CoolGuy.